Welcome to English Legendcast, the audio podcast where you learn English through interesting history, stories, and ideas from around the world. Let's begin. Have you ever wondered why people from different countries speak English to each other? Why do pilots, scientists, business leaders, and students all use the same language? Today, you will discover why English became the world's language, and at the same time, you will improve your English through a powerful story. Welcome to English Legend. English is spoken in more than 100 countries. Over 1.5 billion people use English every day. But English was not always the world's language. Long ago, English was just a small language on a small island called England. So how did it travel across the world? Let's begin the story. How English left a small island. Long before English became a global language, it lived quietly on a small island called England. Hundreds of years ago, most people in the world had never heard English. Powerful languages like Latin, Arabic, Chinese, and Spanish were already connecting large parts of the planet. English was local. It belonged only to farmers, sailors, and kings inside Britain. Everything began to change in the 16th century. Britain started building ships and exploring the oceans. These ships did not travel only for adventure. They traveled for trade, land, and power. British sailors crossed the Atlantic Ocean and reached North America. Others went south to Africa and east to India and Asia. Wherever the ships stopped, new towns and trading centers appeared. With trade came language. British leaders built schools, offices, and courts. To work with the British, local people had to understand English. Merchants used English to buy and sell. Students learned English to get better jobs. Slowly, English stopped being only British. It started becoming international, but this spread was not magic. It came from history. The British Empire became one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. At its peak, it controlled almost 1/4 of the Earth's land and people. That meant millions of new speakers were learning English every generation, so English did not grow because it was beautiful. It grew because it traveled with ships, soldiers, teachers, and traders. It moved with power, and power changed the map of language forever. How America made English global. After the British Empire spread English across the world, another powerful force appeared. The United States of America. In the 20th century, America became a leader in industry, science, entertainment, and business. While Britain planted the seeds of English, America helped those seeds grow everywhere after World War II. The United States rebuilt many countries and supported new technologies. American companies created airplanes, computers, and later the internet. With these inventions came English. Manuals, software, and communication tools were written mostly in English. If someone wanted to study modern science or technology, English was the door they had to open. Hollywood also played a huge role. American movies traveled to every corner of the planet. People in small towns in Asia, Africa, and Europe watched the same films and listened to the same songs. They heard English every day without going to school. Music, television, and later YouTube made English familiar and friendly. Business followed the same path. International companies used English in meetings, emails, and contracts. When people from different countries met, English became the neutral choice. It was nobody's native language, but everybody's useful language. Because of America's influence, English stopped being only historical. It became modern, digital, and global. It lived in phones, airports, universities, and offices. The world was changing fast, and English was moving with it. English in travel and the digital world. Today, the world is more connected than ever before. People travel for work, study, and adventure. When a pilot flies from Turkey to Japan, the language in the cockpit is English. When a traveler checks in at an airport in Brazil or Thailand, English signs help everyone understand where to go. In hotels, tours, and international meetings, English becomes the common voice. Imagine people from 5 different countries sitting in one room. They all have different mother tongues. If they want to cooperate, they need one shared language. Most of the time, that language is English. It saves time. It avoids confusion. It creates understanding. Now think about the internet. Every day, billions of people search, watch, read, and learn online. A large part of the internet is written and spoken in English. Online courses, scientific papers, news, and videos are often in English first. If you understand English, you have access to more knowledge than ever before in history. Social media also pushes English forward. People comment, share, and message across borders. A student in Egypt can talk to a gamer in Korea. A teacher in Canada can help a learner in Vietnam. English becomes the bridge that connects strangers into communities. So English is no longer just a classroom subject. It is a travel tool, a digital passport, and a global connector. In a modern world that never sleeps, English keeps people linked together. Why English is powerful and easy to use. One reason English became the world's language is not only history or technology, but also the nature of the language itself. Compared to many other languages, English is flexible and open. It changes easily and accepts new words from around the world. English does not use many endings on words. In some languages, every verb changes many times. But in English, the structure stays simple. This makes it easier for learners to speak without fear. You can communicate even if your grammar is not perfect. Another special thing about English is that it borrows words from many cultures. From French, it took words like restaurant and culture. From Latin, it took information and science. From Arabic, it took algebra and coffee. This global mix makes English familiar to people from many backgrounds. English also focuses on meaning, not perfection. If you say something a little wrong, people usually still understand you. That gives learners confidence. Confidence is important, because language grows when people are not afraid to use it. Because of this, English became not only powerful, but friendly. It invites people in instead of pushing them away. It allows communication before mastery. So, when you learn English, you are not just memorizing words. You are joining a living system that connects business, travel, friendship, and knowledge across the planet. Your English legend begins. So now you know the story. English did not become the world's language by accident. It traveled with ships from a small island. It grew with empires. It became modern with America, technology, and the internet. And today, it lives in airports, offices, phones, and classrooms everywhere. But the most important part of this story is not history. It is you. Every time you listen, speak, read, or write in English, you are building your own bridge to the world. With English, you can study abroad, work with international teams, watch movies without subtitles, and understand people from different cultures. Learning a language is like starting a journey. At first, the road feels long. Some days are easy. Some days are difficult. But every word you learn is one step forward. Here on English Legendcast, our goal is simple: to help you learn English through legendary stories, clear explanations, and powerful ideas from history and life. You are not just watching videos. You are training your mind. If you enjoyed this story, give the video a like. Subscribe to English Legendcast for more English stories every week. And write a comment. Where are you learning English from? Your English legend starts today, and I'm proud to be part of your journey. See you in the next episode.